Hey guys, Z-Man here, and I just got done editing the final episode of Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, and I kind of noticed I didn't really get to say much edgewise about what I thought of the game, probably because of the way that, the game ending, the credit sequence goes about. They have to explain what happened to everybody. It's a good system, but it doesn't allow me to get much in edgewise about what I thought of the game. So I figured I'd do a little bit of like an extended review of my thoughts on the game and what I liked, what I disliked, what I think they need to do better, all that good stuff. Overall, I thought it was a very great game. I had tons of fun playing it. Felt like a Sly Cooper game. Sanzaru did a great job of making sure this game was very Sly Cooper feel. It had that Sly Cooper feel from the writing to the level design to the missions, just everything. The kind of cheesy craziness of the game was just flat out awesome. I really did like that. One of the better points they had was the level designs, the different varieties of levels they had, going from feudal Japan to Saudi Arabia to the Stone Age to medieval England to what was the second one, the Wild West. All very, very well done. I really, really like the variety. Basically, it made every single level very memorable. I mean, you remember the set pieces in these levels, and that's what makes the level design so well done. Feudal Japan, I remember the sushi house, the geisha house, all the beautiful visuals, the dragon gates, very stylized kind of house structures, building structures, and all that. The beautiful mountainsides surrounding it. You remember that stuff. In the Wild West, you remember the train tracks, remember that train, you remember kind of the jailhouse area up there. You remember all this stuff. And I thought it was very well done. Even like just the feel and the ambiance was very, very good. The music for each level kind of resonated and kind of helped mesh the game a little bit together a little bit more, helped add to the ambiance. However, my favorite level, I'd have to say, was definitely, I believe I said this at the end of the video, right? Yeah. But medieval England was very, very, very well done. I loved the guards were great. It's so much fun taking out hedgehogs and just pretending, take that, Sonic! I don't know why I wanted to take out Sonic so badly, but apparently I did. I just wanted to explore that place. There were the ships, there were lots of castle towns. There was the castle town, there was the outer town, there was the circus area. You just wanted to go around and explore all of it. I wanted to see the level design. Very multi-tiered in a way. Lots of little crevices to hide clue bottles. Luckily, I had the clockwork eye, otherwise a few of those clue bottles would have been hard to find. Especially that one you have to shoot an arrow in order to get that last clue bottle. That would have taken me about 40 minutes to find. It could have been really bad, because I ran over that clue bottle like 5 times trying to find it, even just because I knew it was there on the map. But yeah, level design, excellent, very memorable. The best part of the game, though, has to be the writing. Obviously, the story is a basic story. Guys going through time, we have to go back and fix everything so that the history doesn't get rewritten and, I don't know, Sly never exists or something. But what really drove the story was the writing, was the use of the characters, the interactions between the characters, so well done. Every character is memorable. Especially one of the best things, Carmelita. They wrote Carmelita so much better in this game than I've seen Carmelita written in any other game. I mean, we've seen Carmelita, she's, the tough cop, the one who wants to get Sly. In this game, Grey Delisle, amazing. Keep her. I know there's that running joke about how Carmelita has a different voice actor every time, but Grey Delisle did such an amazing job of just voicing Carmelita, changing, getting her personality down perfectly, changing from, angry Carmelita that just wants to take out Sly, I want to take out the bad guys, to go into, hey, this guy's sweet, he's nice. I mean, Carmelita does have those two sides to her, and you do get to see that kind of conflict in going on in her mind about whether she should take Sly back, whether she should, try to throw him in jail and all this stuff. And I thought Grey DeLisle did a great job with that. The writing was excellent. The interactions between Sly, Bentley, and Murray, all great. The interactions on some levels between the ancestors and the main trio were also pretty good. I don't remember that much about the interaction between Ryoichi. I don't know. Ryoichi was kind of toned down. He was, he's a ninja. He's not sly, but he's a cunning, like, little master thief. The guy did invent the ninja spire jump, which is the most useful move in the game. But you don't really get much personality off of them, which in and of itself is kind of a personality. He's kind of a closed-off person himself. The lieutenants, and I'm going to say this right now, best in any game ever. I mean, you remember every single one of these lieutenants, going from El Jefe and how he's kind of like that cowardly lion, but honestly, he was the strongest one out there, to Toothpick the armadillo and his special move where I get angry and I get big. I loved that. I loved how they put that together. The Grizz. You will never forget the Grizz as long as you live. The rapping, art painting bear who at the end, just out of nowhere, wants to skate. And then you get into a huge boss battle, by ice skating around with a bear in Lakers sweatpants. That's the most memorable thing. I can't think of any more memorable things that I've ever done in a video game. I'd have to think about that, but that's definitely up there. The Black Knight, obviously, that one's memorable for a whole nother reason, and I'm sure if you guys watch the LP, you know why, and you know why I'm angry, but whatever. And of course, I don't know, Miss Decibel wasn't too good, although getting that rock and roll mission was a very fun mission. But lieutenants were the best of any game. I mean, other lieutenants from other games, you don't remember that many. I kind of remember Jean Bisson just because he was the one that kind of just destroyed the Coopers in Sly 2. I guess you kind of remember the Crocodile in Sly 1 because she had a very unique boss battle, which I didn't really like. But I'm sure a lot of people might have. However, the overall boss, I think, was the weakest of the series. I mean, if you don't know already, spoilers, just let you know. I'll probably just put spoilers in the title so you'll know right away. But La Paradox, the skunk, is the final boss, and the whole reason he's going about doing this, again, spoilers, is because he comes from a family of thieves himself, and his dad got caught and he's angry at Sly. It doesn't go for a very memorable final boss. I mean, if you remember in Sly 1 and 2, there was always that overarching theme of Clockwork, this guy's evil, this guy's bad, we gotta take him down. I mean, he wasn't present, but you knew he was evil, you knew he was bad. Kind of had like that, I'm going to go Harry Potter on you guys, but the Voldemort thing. Voldemort's hardly ever present, but he's always that threat. There's always that threat of Voldemort coming out and just destroying everything. That's kind of what Clockwork did in the first two games. And then in the third game, I guess Dr. M wasn't as good. It wasn't a very good final boss, but I think he was better than... a little bit better than La Paradox, just because he is a little bit more evil. I mean, don't get me wrong, La Paradox is, a bad guy, but overall, he's not really a threat. I mean, he's rich, and he's powerful, and he can, go and steal the Cooper canes, but, I don't know, I never found him threatening. I never had that feeling of, foreboding doom at having to face this guy. I mean, I knew I was going to beat him. It just didn't seem like he was going to be such a bad guy, and overall his motivation was quite childish. If you ask me, it was a whole revenge plot, and it wasn't even a very well thought out revenge plot. I mean, I've been reading your guys' comments, and yeah, some of the choices that La Paradox made weren't all that great. One other thing I wanted to point out about the writing was that I liked how there was kind of like an episodic focus on different parts of the gang. First episode was a little bit more just kind of getting you into it, getting the interactions between the three main heroes, and then also getting a nice little interaction between the ancestor, Ryuichi. Second episode, when Carmelita came into the game, the focus really was on Carmelita, showing her struggle, showing how she's not happy with Sly. It was kind of the interaction between Sly and Carmelita that really got episode 2's focus. And episode 3, when we went to the Stone Age, the focus was really on Murray, and I think this was my favorite story element of the game, even more than episode 4, just because of the way I like to identify with Murray a little bit, being strong, although I'm obviously a little bit smarter than him, but being a strong dude, wanting to go at things in a straightforward manner. Having him get humbled in that episode, because if you don't know about the episode, they meet Bob, who is the first Cooper in a way. Obviously someone had to have him, so there's a Cooper before Bob, but he was the first Cooper in a way, and Murray has to train him, and then later on in the episode, Murray tries to do this job that he just can't do, no matter how hard he tries, and it kind of humbles him to have Bob have to come in there. The guy that he trained has to come in and do it for him. I mean, that's a humbling experience. Just when the student becomes the master, it is kind of a humbling experience. And I mean, Murray's never really faced that before, having to be kind of demoted, downplayed in an episode, because he was always the Murray. He was the guy that could do anything when it comes to the physical challenges. He was the Murray. And then he gets humbled like that, and you kind of get to see a little character arc where he goes through depression, and he kind of accepts his fate, and finally, at the end, in what I loved it, how they had him fight the final boss, and they had the gang show a lot of trust in Murray in order to beat the Grizz, and I thought that was a great way to end that episode. That was a very good episode, in my opinion. The level design in that episode wasn't my favorite. Some of the missions, kind of boring, although the montage mission was the best one. But the story, the writing, the overall story, the little character arc for Murray, I loved that. Episode 4 was very obviously about the Bentley character arc, and we all know what happened there. I guess I'm going spoilers here, but yes, Penelope was the Black Knight. And, you get to see Bentley kind of learn about that. You get to see his interaction, and then, although I did love just coming back in a blaze of glory, in a blaze of Aliens referential glory, with the Aliens mech made out of the mechanical dragon set pieces. Oh, just freaking glorious return. And then having him just beat the crap out of Penelope. I thought it was a very fitting ending to that episode and that character arc. Episode 5, I guess, didn't really have much of a focus. It was kind of more on the entire group trying to finally take out La Paradox. What is next? Oh, the Ancestors. I thought the Ancestors were very good. A lot of them were very memorable, very fun. Again, Ryuichi, he's not very memorable in a way, but that's just kind of the way he is. He's very downplayed. He's a ninja. He doesn't want to be noticed, so his emotions are down. His speaking style is down. He's not humble in any stretch of the imagination, because in half the episodes he's telling Bentley, dude, I got this. Don't worry. The other ancestors, all very memorable. I love the kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but Tennessee Kid Cooper was a very fun Cooper to play as, and he was my favorite Cooper to play as, especially with this crack shot technique, which was kind of like the Deadeye mode in Red Dead Redemption. The gun gameplay was very fun. And there was also Bob, who wasn't really a Cooper. That kind of threw me off. They went in a completely different direction with Bob. That he doesn't have any of the Cooper moves. He can still do stealing moves because he does have a cane in some way. But his special move was climbing, and it was just like God of War. And quite honestly, it's not a good special move. But I did like, there was kind of a little bit of like the Guru reference about how Bob could just speak basically any language and they understand him for whatever reason, just like they understood the Guru the entire time. Salim was my favorite. Sir Galeth was good. He was overly dramatic. He had some funny moments. But Salim, just the old dude, he just wants to get out. He wants to stop. He wants to finish this. He's always complaining. I loved it. And even despite how much he doesn't want to be there, whenever they save somebody, it's always about how he saved them. I'm the one that saved you, my brother. For whatever reason, that guy just cracked me up. I love that guy's character. Moving on to the gameplay. The gameplay was good. It felt like Sly. However, there were also a lot of problems with it. Sly wasn't too bad. The platforming was good. The camera did get a little wonky sometimes. But what really threw me off, before I go into the bad, the costumes I liked. I liked the costumes. There were a few things that I wish they would have done with them. For example, the archer, if he would have had arrows the entire time instead of just when he stands next to a bucket, would have been fun. Because since then I've gone back and just stood next to buckets and started sniping people. Oh, it's so much fun to do that. All the other costumes are very, well, with the exception of the thief costume. The thief costume's awesome. Just slowing down time, getting that big sword is so awesome. I'll just run around, purposefully get caught, throw on the slowdown, and then just sword one of the big dudes, and he goes down. It's awesome. I love that sword. The other costumes are all very, I don't know the word for it, but they're only useful in certain places. So there's not much you can say about those. But the costumes, the way they integrated the costumes was pretty good. I liked it. Back to Sly's gameplay, which I guess costumes are Sly's gameplay, so I don't know why I'm saying back to Sly's gameplay. The circle button, the thief move button, they OP'd it, basically. You can jump off in a completely wrong direction, press the circle button, and it'll bring you all the way back to where you're supposed to be. I really wish they would have at least made us at least go kind of where we're supposed to be, and then the circle button saves us. But I can shoot off in like a 45-degree angle the completely wrong way and hit the circle button and save myself. And there was a few times where you can cheese the level design. You can do like a double jump and be a good 3 feet below the rope and then press the circle button, and all of a sudden he jumps 3 feet and another extra 3 feet up and he's on the rope. I guess that was very useful for getting clue bottles, but it really does dumb down the gameplay a little bit. This is an easy game. There's no reason to make it a lot easier by doing that. I just thought the circle button was just a little OP'd, and sometimes it didn't work. I've pointed this out a lot, but there were times where I'm trying to jump on a spire, which is over here, and then when I press the circle button to get on the spire, I'll accidentally fly 2 feet in the wrong direction. Not 2 feet, 5 feet in the wrong direction and land on a rope. I wish they need to tighten that up a little bit. I don't remember having too many problems with that in the old Sly games. Another thing that they did get wrong, I just want to throw that out there. The load times were bad. They were really long. That needs to be fixed. I don't know how you fix it, but it needs to be fixed. I did cut out a lot of the load times in the Let's Play, but if you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. These are really long load times sometimes. Up to, I believe, sometimes they can get up to 20 to 30 seconds. Way too long. Carmelita's gameplay I thought was very good. Only problem is you never use her. There's no reason to use her. She can't do any of the Cooper moves. All she does is have a gun, which, sure, it can be fun to shoot people, but, I mean, I'd rather go out as Sly and steal their money and stuff. I don't believe she has a steal move. I never really tried, because, again, I think I only took her out of the hideout two or three times, and one time was just to see how she played. And a lot of her missions, I believe there were only, thinking back on it, there were only about 2 missions where you actually get to play as her. Otherwise, I mean, there were a few where there was the shooting minigame, and then there was the other shooting minigame when you're on a raft. Otherwise, you don't really just get to play as Carmelita. There was and the 2 where you did were not in the hub world. There was the train one, there was the boss battle against the dragon, and then I thought there was one. Oh, there was the dancing minigame at the end of episode 5. Those were the times that you really got to play as Carmelita, and I don't know. It wasn't like they needed to use her more. Murray wasn't as fun to play. I mean, in Sly 2, I mean, Murray's the brawler. He's the guy that's going to get in there and just start beating the living crap out of you, right? But in this game, it wasn't as fun to beat the living crap out of people. I mean, I remember Sly 2, the Contessa episode when they throw Sly and Murray in jail, and there's that one mission where you need to have Murray fight a bunch of people in order to get thrown into solitary confinement so that you can save him. That was fun. I had tons of fun beating the living crap out of those guys. But when we get into like brawling sections in this game, it's really clunky. I guess that's the best way I can kind of describe it. Murray's fighting is very clunky. Kind of noticed that in the demo. I was really hoping that was just me sucking at the gameplay, but I've played Murray quite a bit now. It's just it's a clunky gameplay style. Half the time I resort to jumping and pressing the square button to do that the whatever that move is called, but it's a very good move. I love that move. Murray's a little clunky. I wish they could fix that and make him a little bit more fun to play as. Other gameplay styles, all very good. I love the Ancestors, of course. I love their special moves. Bentley played well. The minigames were all pretty good, except for the ones that use 6-axis controls. I think I made that very evident. But overall, it is a very good game. And I do feel like Sanzaru kind of played it safe, which honestly is what they needed to do. They're brand new. This is their first Sly game. They're taking over for Sucker Punch, so if they're going to do a new Sly game, they can't change too much. Otherwise, the fans are going to hate them, obviously. But if they're going to do a next game, I do want them to open it up a little bit in the way that Sly 2 opened it up with, the whole hub world structure, I guess they call it the Grand Theft Auto open world. You can go to the mission and all that. Or in Sly 3, where they included new stuff like the ship battles, which I freaking loved. I really wish we would have went to the freaking Caribbean. We could have done some ship battles with Henrietta One-Eye Cooper. It would have been so much fun. Or the dogfighting missions also as well. We got those in Sly 3. But they need to open it up. They need to do something different. Keep it Sly, but do something to make your mark. So, overall, it was a very good game. I believe on Metacritic right now it's getting around a 75 from the critics. And just the regular users, they're giving it such a much higher rating. I believe it's at 90... Well, it's not. It's out of 10, isn't it? It's 9.3, I believe, from the users. I'm going to have to go a little bit more towards the critics. I mean, it's not a 9.5 game. I'd give it more around an 8. Just for the reasons that I explained. The gameplay's not perfect. I did like the writing, I did like the level design, I liked all that stuff. The music was excellent. There were just a lot of things that didn't make it an amazing game, but it's a very good game. Well worth the $40 it takes to buy this thing. I mean, if you got $40, don't spend it on any other game. Go buy Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. It is well worth it. You're going to have a blast, especially if you love 3D platformers. So, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to leave comments below. I want to read your comments about what you thought of the game. Just kind of leave like a mini review. What did you like? What did you dislike? What would you give the game a rating of? Otherwise, I think that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see all of you guys in the next LP.